don't know. I don't have.
You're live, so say hi to everyone.
Hey everybody, it's Renee Pocoy.
We're just letting people join.
Welcome. I've got Drew in the house here, and we are actually recording live in my neighbor Courtney's yard. So thank you, Courtney. And yes, we have social distancing going on here. As some of you might now know, WOW is down from Michigan down to Florida, and we happen to have WOW.
Just wait for people to join.
So we're having some people come online, so I'm excited to be here. We're improvising, thinking outside of the box. So if you're hearing a little traffic, well, we're making do with what we've got here today. Again, this is Renee with Organic Stepping Stones. Welcome everybody for joining in today. I've got chickens in the background. I've got the barn. Is this the best backyard ever or what? No, it's not mine. It's my neighbor's and I love it. She's also the butterfly lady. Hatches butterflies. She's helping bring back the monarchs. We need those for all of our growing needs and stuff. So as you know, everybody's supposed to be staying home. And so we want to make sure that we're using everything and getting the best out of everything that we have and using as many items as we can.
Linda just joined us.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, Linda, can you hear my Renee all right?
Can you hear me, Linda? I know we're outside, so I'm trying to talk a little louder than normal, and I always talk pretty loud anyways. So if you could give us a thumbs up if you guys can hear me okay, that would be great. Again, I apologize for the traffic, but our internet is down, so we're in my neighbor's yard going live. Again, this is Renee and Organic Stepping Stones. And we're gonna touch on a couple of things today. I'm kind of excited. Been making some things in the house. I've been putting some recipes up on the website. So if you haven't been to the website yet, it's organicsteppingstones.com. And there's the blog, there's some recipe posts, there's some DIY posts. So you can check that out. And if you have any suggestions on what you guys want to know about, shoot me a text, let me know, make a comment.
Likes and hearts, and Patty Turibus just joined us as well.
Hey Patty, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. Sorry we're missing all the WOW people, but we'll have this recorded so that they can see it either on Facebook or on the YouTube channel. So I hope everybody is staying healthy and staying home and doing what we're supposed to be doing to get through this time. And part of the reason of doing this is really to reach out and, communicate with everybody, because I don't know about you, but I've been in that house for the last couple of weeks, kind of missing my interaction with all of you guys. And of course, all the classes that were scheduled have been canceled, which is a good thing. We want to get this issue under control so that we can kind of continue on with life as we used to know it, right? So today, are we ready? How about it?
Linda says, I keep losing you, ? Gotcha. Sally just joined us. We got 11 people. We could move this back a little bit to get closer to the signal here.
Okay, I guess we're gonna bear with us. We are going to move
just to get closer
to get a little closer to the Wi-Fi signal so that we're not breaking up so
There we
much.
go. Just stay in the light right there so we
Right
can see
there.
good.
Let us know if this is a little bit better. We're trying to get a little closer to the house. We are keeping our distance from the neighbors. Very gracious that they're allowing us to come in their backyard this evening. So today, it's all about using what's in your kitchen.
Sally, Megan, Jenny,
Whoop, whoop.
Monica, Linda, I said Mackenzie and Aunt Patty as well.
Wow.
They're all joined us.
We had a house full. How exciting, everybody. Thanks.
Karen Delecki has just tuned in.
All right, Karen, thanks for joining us.
So we got about 18 people tuned in now, so we can probably get going.
Okay, I'm going to start with something very simple that we all have.
Oh, they lost us.
They lost us. Okay.
We're going to move all the way back in.
I'm coming with the table, people. I'm coming with it. And off go the sprouts. There, back with the table. I hope this is a little bit better for the signal. Sprouts are back in action here. We'll rotate those around. Like I said, we're going to start with eggs. I hope we're a little bit better now. All right. Well, let us know if we need to move the table one more time. Okay, we're starting with something as simple as eggs. And part of this is, what can you do with these eggshells now that you've got all of the nourishment out of the yolk and everything, and you've had your breakfast, you've made your pancakes, whatever. A few things to use these shells for, and one that I learned from my grandmother is you take several of these, you put them in a mason jar, you fill it up with water, and you let it set for a couple of days. And then when you're watering your house plants, you add about this much of your watering can, top it off with regular water. You will be amazed at plants that never bloomed, they're going to be blooming. So that is one great thing to do with your eggshells. Another that I got from my sister who loves them, notice how I have put all the broken eggshells in this carton. You could put a little hole at the bottom, and then you fill it up with your potting soil. You put your seeds in, and the calcium and all that is going to help them break up. And then when you need to put them in the ground, you just give them a little crack, put them in the ground, and your plants are well on their way. What a cool thing. What do you guys think? Thumbs up on that one? I think it's awesome. Why go out and buy when you already have something at home that you can use?
Oh, Clark is with us too, Rosette
Welcome,
says.
Clark. Yeah, Clark, you'd appreciate that. You're the gardener guy.
A lot of people say the connection was fine, but I'm glad that we've been able to help the rest of the audience out too.
Okay, yeah, that's important. And then what you can also do is, now that these shells, I think some of these have been drying out for a while, and so they crack up really, really well, you can actually grind these down into a fine pulp or even in pieces like this. And if you're having an issue with slugs around some of your plants, like your hostas, you can sprinkle those in the soil, and the sharp edges aren't good for those, so that help to keep them away from your plants. You know, we are getting into that gardening time of the year. I'm kind of excited, looking to grow some of my own plants and stuff. So you can use those, and so there you go on eggs. So we've used them to help water our plants, you know, for our soil. And so let's get the best juice we have. Now this is the exciting part, or I think is really, really exciting. You know, I buy all organic when I can. And like, this is a head of romaine, and I didn't bring my knife. Again, we're in the neighbor's yard. But if you cut this down to right here, use up your lettuce how you normally would for salad, and then you have this end. And y'all think, let's just pitch it. It's not any good, right? I have to tell you, check this out. This romaine is growing in water. This is live food, people. All I did was put clean filtered water. Now I wouldn't use tap because of the chlorine and the fluoride, but I'm growing romaine here. I'm like, this is so exciting. You can't quite see, but I'm starting to get some tiny roots.
If you stop, I was zooming in.
He's zooming in, and I'm messing up the process.
No, you're good. It was good. We were going good. We're rocking. We're rocking.
We have Courtney. She's bringing me a knife here. She's hearing me from the kitchen.
Oh, that's service right there. And Megan says, WTF, are you serious? Yes, she's serious. I've been watching her do this since they have been cut like that, the whole time. It's been like, what, a week, and they've grown that much?
And I have that much growth in 1 week's time. So literally, just put that in some water, and you're good to go. I mean, that is so cool. Check out this one. Okay, you guys, this is celery. I'm growing celery. Again, I'm starting to get some little roots on there, but you know, you could do this in the house. If you don't want to plant outside, The one thing I didn't do was I didn't put it in direct sunlight. I think when I tried this months ago, because Jenny, who's in the house with us today.
And Jennifer Hoffman just joined us as well.
Welcome, Jennifer. Told me about this, and I was doing pretty good, but I think because I was using tap water and I put it right in direct sunlight right away, I think that was too much and they didn't grow very well. So this was getting light, but the sun not beating on them. And I'm changing the water every couple of days to get some fresh water going.
Because if you look, it gets really yellow. I don't know what that means, but it's yellow and we changed the water.
Yeah, and check out that. You can actually see the roots starting to grow on this. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're growing onions. So you could use this to chop it up like, you would do a green onion. Or if you want, you have a pot of soil, you could actually put that in your pot and, have a big pot and start growing some onions right in your house. I mean, eat your lettuce, grow your lettuce in your kitchen. It doesn't get any better than that.
Megan says, can I use the water from my Berkeley filtered water?
Absolutely. Berkeley water is good. I'm using reverse osmosis. I think you just want it filtered or spring, something like that. You just want to stay away from directly out of the tap, again, because of the chlorine and the fluoride.
And Nancy joined us, and Sally says, good to know, not direct sunlight.
Yes, welcome, Nancy. And yes, if you guys have any questions.
And Dana as well.
And Dana,
cousin.
welcome,
Yes.
welcome. And then another thing I happen to have here is, with everything going on, I bought a few too many potatoes. They're like my favorite. They're the Yukons, or the golden potatoes. I think have way more flavor than a white or Idaho potato, but they're sprouting. And the thing about organics, it does sprout. If you're buying conventional at the store, a lot of those have been sprayed with inhibitors to stop the potatoes from creating the eyes. So if you guys just cut these, let it dry out for a couple of days, and you could plant these in the yard or in the pot. A great way to do it would be to have a big pot, you put a few inches of soil on it, you put your potatoes in, cover it up with a couple of inches. As it starts growing, you can keep adding soil until you get to the top of your pot. Let them grow. Potatoes need a lot of water, so you got to make sure come summertime that you're giving them a lot of water, because I've tried it the other way and it does not work out. So don't be slacking on the water, and you can actually harvest your own potatoes. I mean, a lot of people would just be throwing this out. No waste, people, no waste. Another thing that I think is really important that I want to share with is, if you don't want to grow your stuff, and like I even have carrots grown, and you can trim off the tops once they start getting a little bit bigger, add to your salads and stuff, is to take all of your onion skins, your carrot ends, your celery, your potatoes, any of your vegetable scraps. Being that I'm buying organic, that's a lot of money, and I want to get the best bang for my buck. I have a gallon freezer bag. I'm going to put all of those scraps in there and toss it in the freezer. And you're like, yeah, okay, now what am I going to do with a bag of frozen scraps for a day? Okay, they're cool vegetables, and you can use that for making potassium broth or bone broth. And again, another means of using everything that we had. I just had the other day, I baked a whole chicken. At the end of the meal, I stripped it down, and you have what's left. There's some meat, there's some cartilage, there's the bones, whatever you have. You can save your bones. If you're just cooking for one, you're not going to have a lot. Again, get a gallon bag, mark it chicken bones, beef bones, lamb, whatever, and you stock up on those bones. And then when you have enough, you're going to make the best broth ever.
So Donna Pleisch just joined us.
Hey, Donna.
If you want to touch base, and Susie just joined as well.
Hey, Susie.
So if you want to touch base again on the vegetables before you get over to the rest of the things.
Absolutely. What we have here is live food.
Sue just joined us as well.
Hey, Sue. I have my organic romaine. I cut it off to use this for my salad. This end piece, which normally I've always disregarded, and most people do, I decided to put it in some water, filtered water. I'm growing it, you guys. Grow lettuce in your house. Celery, growing it in your house. Onions, grow it in the house. It's so cool. And then we were talking potatoes. when they're sprouting, cut them, dry them out for a couple days, plant them, and you can have potatoes in the fall. I mean, that's like free food, you guys. Why not keep it going? So another thing that you can do with your scraps, I was saying, freeze them in bags. And to make bone broth, people are like, oh, it's so difficult. Really? You take your bag of frozen bones, dump it in a pot, cover it with water. Again, filtered, clean water, spring water. I'm gonna do a glug splash, apple cider vinegar. I like Bragg's. Let it sit for about a half hour. Bring it to a boil, cover and simmer 12 to 24 hours. At the end, if you want, add those vegetable scraps for more flavor. Strain it off. You got a fabulous soup base, stew base. If you want to flavor your rice, I like to freeze my stuff in glass. So if you want to use mason jars, the tip, fill 3/4 full, tip on an angle to allow expansion for freezer. If you go straight up and down, you're going to bust your jars. How do I know? Been there, done that. So put them on an angle in your freezer. And another great way is to put some in an ice cube tray. And then you can have little cubes if you just want a little bit of gravy or a little bit of chicken broth or beef broth for something else. But I know not everybody is into meat and the bones. So what you can do is, a lot of people, when they're eating potatoes, they peel the skin. People, that's where all the potassium is. Save your potato skins. You can freeze those too. So you can put your potato skins along with your other vegetable scraps. I actually use the onion skins, the garlic skins, you know, all of that incorporated. Bring it to a boil, simmer it, lid on, 45 minutes, and strain it. At that point, I will then add Celtic sea salt, some pepper, some seasonings, because if you leave it plain, okay, you know it's plain. I'm just saying, seasonings are great to add, and if you want details on how to do those broths, I just put them up on the website, organicsteppingstones.com, under the recipe section. You know, if you guys have any questions, give me a shout out, and I'd be happy to answer any of those to you. So we've got growing in the house. We've got potassium broth and bone broth. And what are those good for? Healthy gut, healthy body, great for our joints, great for repairing our digestive gut, leaky gut. You know, one of my favorite ways for broth, either the potassium broth or vegetable broth or chicken broth, is just warming up a mug and enjoying that. It is like delicious. And really, I like to use that for the base of all of my soups. It just adds so much more dimension and stuff. So another thing I wanted to talk about, with everything going on, and I'm trying to stay away from the grocery store, and like, this is the last of my romaine, okay? And I don't want to go to the store, so I'm growing it, which is cool. But another way to bring things into the house is, I don't know if any of you have ever done any sprouting, and I've had this in my sprouting jar. I think I'm on about day 3 or day 4. And this is a variety of a bunch of different seeds and beans. And literally, if you don't have a sprouting jar like this, you don't need to. In the beginning, I didn't. You can just use any kind of a jar. If you have a coffee filter and a rubber band and you can poke some holes, you're gonna get your seeds and beans wet, pour it out. I leave it on the side so that there isn't too much moisture, and within days you'll see those start to grow. And once they sprout a little bit more, you know, you have that, you know, sprouts are one of the most nourishing things that you can eat, even more so than when something is full grown like the romaine or other type of lettuces. Sprouts are just fabulous for nourishment. And I have a large quantity. So if you're not sure you want to do sprouts, you send me a personal message. You cover shipping, which is $3, because in an envelope, if it's not flat, the post office charges me $3. I'll mail you out some, and you guys can give this a go and try sprouting in your house. I mean, it's the coolest ever. Any questions? Because I love questions. Come on, you guys.
There's
Help me
22
out.
people. You have to have questions.
I've got Drew in the house helping me out. We are broadcasting from my neighbor's yard, doing social distancing, because WOW is out right now.
And that, yes. And Sue says she loves your energy, Renee. And Sally says that the eggshell information was awesome too. Repeat the eggshell information for some people that may have tuned back in.
When I'm talking about using everything in the kitchen, it's doing the most out of what we have. And so for my eggshells, I like to save those. I've cracked them. You can put them in a jar, a glass, fill it with water, let it set for a couple of days, and you're going to use some of that water, topped off with regular, to water your plants. My orchids are blooming like crazy because of egg water. Learned that from my grandmother when I was yay big. Not that I'm that tall now anyways, but I was a little girl at the time. You can also use it, poke a little hole, put your potting soil in here, and put your seeds in there.
Poke a hole into what?
Poke a hole in the bottom of your shell.
Oh, so you just put the shell in and then soil.
And then your seed.
Shell, hole, then soil.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so that when you're watering, if you get too much, some of the water can run out. When you go to plant it, just give that a little crunch and then put it right into the ground, and you don't have to go out and buying cups and stuff like that. You can also crunch them. If you're having an issue with slugs by hostas or other plants, sprinkle that around. It's good nourishment for the soil.
Does it work with any plants? Succulents too, says Jenny.
To be honest, I have not tried it with succulents, Jenny. I've tried it in the garden and with some house plants.
And Jennifer Hoffman asked, she would love some sprouts as well. And Sue asks what your favorite soup to make is when you're done with the sprouts.
Oh, well, the sprouts, I'm normally just going to put those in my salads or eat them plain.
And Becky says, love it.
Yay! One of my favorite soups is probably when I make the chicken bone broth is chicken and dumplings, and I make a dense dumpling using einkorn flour because it is the original non-hybridized flour. So even people that have digestive issues can use that. So if you're not soaking it or fermenting it overnight, even just using the einkorn, so with celery and carrots and onions and garlic and all that, and that's one of my favorite soups to make. And going back to making the most out of the kitchen, I know some people are not into leftovers, but if you have a little bit of this vegetable and a little bit of that, or a little bit of meat, people, make up some rice, get that ready, saute some extra onions, throw those little bits of chicken, whatever you have in there, with a little butter. You can even crack an egg, get that going. Go in there, so you have a rice stir fry with all the leftovers, brand new meal. You have bread ends that are hard and you don't know what to do with them, put them in the food processor. Why go out and buy breadcrumbs? For on the website, there are stuffed mushrooms. Oh my gosh, it's a fabulous recipe.
Eat those stuffed mushrooms. Make them and eat them. And Jenny says she's going to try the egg water and report back. It sounds like she has some succulents that are going to need some nourishment here.
Absolutely, absolutely. It has really been amazing, the egg water. I'm really excited. I will be putting up on the website, Andy and I are going to build a little, from what we have at home without going to the store, a grow thing. So I'm going to put these under grow lights. I'm really going to have this stuff going in the house because it's a little too chilly to be growing lettuce right now because, okay, it likes a little bit warmer and so do I, right? So I think I covered everything for today. I didn't want to get too lengthy.
Emily Dlucky just joined us as well. So do a quick summary before everyone else just tuned in.
Congrats.
So congrats, absolutely. But 5 more people joined. So
5 more people. Okay. I'm going to start again with the most exciting thing that I thought is.
But Emily needs her congrats.
What's that?
Emily needs her congratulations. Not going to take that one away.
Congrats. I mean, new baby in the house. Whoop, whoop. Yep, Megan's due in a few weeks too. Very exciting. So I think one of my favorite things is, because I don't want to go out to the store like the rest of you right now, social distancing and all that. This is live food. Just cutting off your ends, stick them in some water. This is maybe a week's worth of growth. This is just organic romaine, you guys, that I cut off just like this. Carrots, okay, I'm not going to get the orange part, but I can trim the greens and put that in my salad. Celery, growing there in water. Onions, I even got the little things. I can clip it off at the top, keep letting it grow in water, or actually plant them and grow onion bulbs. I mean, it's free food. Same thing with potatoes. Cut them, dry them, plant them. Eggshells. Use it for your plant water. Use it to plant your seeds in here. Crush them up for calcium around your outside plants. No waste, you guys, no waste. And I was talking about the ease of sprouting. Literally, I'm going maybe 3 times a day, fill it with water, swish, dump it out, and these little bad boys are sprouting. So nutritious, the sprouts. Great on salads or just to take a handful and munch. I mean, really, really great value. Again, on the website, I talk about saving your vegetable scraps and bones to make chicken bone broth, beef bone broth, potassium broth, so those are all great things. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Got a question?
You have a couple questions, yeah.
Questions.
So
Love
Rebecca Hart asked, I also missed where we...
It was really hard on our digestive system.
Redo that again. We broke up our connection for a second.
Okay, we broke our... Happy to mail out to whoever wants some stuff to sprout. Send me a personal message. All I ask is you cover postage, and that's $3 for me to mail it out. And, give it a try before you go out and get all this stuff. See if you like it. And like I said, if you don't have a sprouting jar with a screen and a filter, a coffee filter works good with poking a few holes. You just want to get air circulation in your own before you go out and, buy from online resources right now.
So it looks like we're cutting out. We're losing some viewers, and the few are joining back. So let's recap on when the next. They joined back in. Okay, you got 16 back, 18 back. They all joined back.
Sorry about the connection.
When's the next show gonna be?
Next show, same place. Well, hopefully in my house. If not, in Courtney's yard.
And what are the and a lot of Aunt Denise is making the chicken patties with sourdough with breadcrumbs right now, so she's very excited.
That's on the what website that is.
So what are a couple topics you're considering for next week? Next Friday at 7 again.
7 o'clock, same time, same place, you guys. The couple of topics that I'm putting out there right now, but I'm open, is some people have been asking about face masks, and a friend of mine shared a no-sew mask made out of t-shirts, and we could do that, and also a sew mask for somebody who wants that. Another topic is anti-inflammation diet or immune boosting. Those are the 2 on the table. But hey, I'm open. If you got a really cool idea, give me a shout, let me know, and whatever I get the most of, that's what we're gonna do. And maybe I'll do the other ones, just a small little blurb, and put it on Organic Stepping Stones Facebook page. I want to thank you for tuning in.
Reconnect, and then Sue wants to learn how to do the raindrop technique. She's been kind of winging it.
Okay. For the potato soup, I will actually work really hard at writing that down, because it's just up here, because I do little of this, little of that. I will get it up on the website so you guys can make some potato soup, because it is fabulous. And for the raindrop, Sue, I think we're just going to have to talk. And those of you who don't know what a raindrop is, it's kind of like a raindrop massage, and you're using 9 essential oils up the back. It is beautiful. Most people, when I do it, fall asleep, and they're getting all this goodness soaking into their skin. It's great for lots of things. I can't say a lot of things, but I'll just say it's really good for your body and your immune system. Do we have any other questions in the house before we wrap with the glitchiness?
Make sure to share this video when they're done,
share.
And like our page if you haven't liked it yet, so we can talk to you directly, because we can't see when you join unless you've liked Organic Stepping Stones already. So please do that and share it with your friends. If you can go to our page and click share and invite your friends and select your entire friends list. And then send that, we would absolutely appreciate it. We want to share as much health and wealth in the form of good food and nutrition as we can.
And the thing I want to leave you with is these tips, and I'd like for you to also share, because I know all of you have really cool things to share too. So if you could put that in the comments so other people can see. is to share this with other people. Okay, this is not a single one person. This is a community. We are working together. We are making things happen, and we want to share good stuff. We want to share nourishment. We want to share health. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and reach out anytime. I miss y'all.
This is recorded. It will be reposted immediately. We had a couple of people just join in, and we'll see everyone next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Love you guys.